Well, this morning we are in Costa Rica at the Doka Estates, and I'm with Adriana, who gave us a wonderful tour about coffee. Adriana, this is such a wonderful place, and we are surrounded by these coffee trees. About how old are these?
Well, here those are like 4 years old.
Wow.
So that's the first production.
You know, in Oregon we can grow them, but only as houseplants, and we maybe get 10 beans, but it's better to come down to Costa Rica and really see them. Now, these beautiful plants are only 4 years, but how long would you keep a plant here producing?
Well, actually the coffee plants, well, they can live forever. So they can live like 100 years old. But here we only keep it for 25 to get a good quality and quantity.
And then how many acres or hectares are here?
Well, Doka here it's 190 hectares, that it is like 450 acres.
Wow.
So it's very big.
And the Doka Estates, it's run by a family. It's still a family business.
Yeah, nowadays belongs to a Vargas family that they are from Costa Rica.
Ah, that's wonderful.
They have this plantation, Doka, and they have more coffee plantations here around. So they have like 12,000 hectares in total.
Wow.
So that's a lot of coffee.
Yes. So then what happens? I noticed some of the beans are red, and so are those the ones you pick, or you pick the green ones?
No, only the red ones. So first we get the green one, then turning red, and so they pick the coffee one by one, only the red ones.
Wow, and so it's all by hand?
All by hand.
Wow, and so then once they pick them, where does it go then? What happens?
Well, after they pick the coffee, they go to the factory. So here it's a wet mill because it works by water. So, and they process the coffee, they make a selection by density, then by size, and then they dry the coffee. And after that, it's ready to be roasted.
But in that mill, I'd like to go back to that because it's an old water mill. How old is it?
It's 120 years old.
Wow.
So it's the oldest ones here in Costa Rica.
Yeah, and so then the beans go in there, and the ripe ones really, they sink, and those are the best ones.
Exacto. The other ones floats, and they are like lower quality because they are not ready yet.
And so then where do they go then? The ones that are the best ones and the bottom, what's the next step for those?
After that, so they remove a slimy cover, well, they remove the skin, then they dry the coffee, and then we export some coffee, and well, we keep it some coffee here that it's with our brand.
But I need to go back because
Okay.
I got to help just a little bit, because I got to help with the raking, because after you get to that point where you're drying them, it's outside for how many days?
4 days.
4 days.
4 days. That's the old-fashioned to process the coffee. So they still doing like that outside. Nowadays they have machines and they dry the coffee into the machines, but here they prefer to dry the coffee outside, and they need to rake it every 45 minutes so the coffee turns and dries better.
Yeah, those guys were really working hard, and we got to help just a little bit. And then from there, where does it go?
After that, we keep the coffee for 3 months into
those
plastic
bags. Yeah.
That's for the coffee, improve the taste, so they keep it for 3 months. And after that, we need to remove another shell. With that shell, here they use it for the ovens as a fuel.
Wow.
Because here they recycle everything.
That's wonderful. And that's called the parchment?
The parchment.
And so it's really interesting about the roasting, because to get different flavors, it's not the bean, it's the roasting.
Exactly. It's the same coffee bean that here in Costa Rica we only grow Arabica. So all of them are Arabica. So just change the time that we roast it. For the dark coffee, so we roast it longer, and light coffee, so let's.
And really, the premier coffee doesn't stay in this country. It comes to the United States and other countries in the world.
Yeah, we export coffee to US, Europe, and Japan. But we keep it 30% here, that it is the coffee that we sell it here. But we sell the coffee, export the coffee, and roast it. So they roasted the coffee in the way that they want.
Right. And you can either come to Costa Rica, which is, I really highly recommend that, or you can go online, or Pete's Coffee in the States is one of your customers.
Yeah, they buy some coffee from here, but unroasted also.
Right, so then they roast it there.
So if you want our coffee, so you can find our coffee here, make the tour, or you can buy the coffee online.
Yeah, and you know, to come here, there's another special thing to get is chocolate covered coffee beans is the best.
Yeah,
Ah.
there are.
Well, thank you so much. It was
You're
great to
very
see you. Great to
welcome,
meet you.
and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.